Thank you, professors. Finally, we will have the chairman of the Collaborative Research Fund Committee, Professor Eddy Liew, to share with us his insights on the selection interview. Professor Liew, please.
You hear me? I'm given the short straw to give the last talk, and also thanks Louis for giving my talk already. Now I have been tasked to tell you how to do the interview. Now I am a little bit hesitant about that because I'm by no means an expert in any interviewing technique and so on. But however, over the years, I have sat through many dark rooms and so on, and listened to it and so on. And so there's certain points I thought, to me, if I were to be there, what I would like to do. Okay. So I'm putting a few slides because just for me to try to improve my memory. So how to present your case, but that's the gist of it. Now I'm going to start with some generic feature. Let me see. It's not working. This one here. So you must speak reasonably good English, because over the years there are many presenters. The English is really hesitant, and sometimes they even can't even understand what they're talking about. Heavy accent. If you're not confident about your English, you should ask somebody else in your team to present your case, rather than soldiering on. It doesn't do any good. But of course, the person you doesn't have to be PC to present a case. It can be core PI to present a case, right? So it's a very important point. The second one, there's no restriction of number of slides you can make. Okay? Only restricted time. So many people cram so much information in one single poor slice in such a way you can't even see from the back, and in front row, let alone the back row, right? So you can just make it simple. So and the slides need to be simple, because there is so much fatigue in the information. There's no point putting so much information there, people cannot read, cannot take it in, and so on. If you cannot differentiate the important key points from the detail, then you're probably not a very good scholar. I think that's just important. Make it simple that people can understand. And importantly, stick to the time. When you say 10 minutes, mean 10 minutes, because otherwise it's really discourteous and create a very bad impression. Right. The most important thing, and emphasized by many speakers, I'm sure today, is that has to be innovative and rigorous research. And I don't have to go to any more. I think everybody got a message now. That is the first point. If you do not pass this filter, the rest doesn't matter. However, paper you publish in Nature or Science, and that doesn't make a thing if you do not have this thing, this innovative and rigorous science. If you pass that, then you can talk about other things. Now, the word I put here is, let me see, what's that here? Number of slides when I have time and so on. Now, I'm taking this one as sort of generic guide, how much information we can take in the dark room. So why, the first question, why is the research important? It doesn't matter fundamental research or applied research. Then what are the questions to be asked? Has to be clear, either in numerical term, 1, 2, 3, 4, or in PowerPoint, in the bullet point. And I would say it's no more than 4 for CRF, or even for any other grant. If you have more than 4 important questions to ask, you're asking too broad a question, you're not focused. Okay? Sometimes they will need 1 question and answer it beautifully. That's enough. But you have more than 4, I think you're in danger of too diffuse. Now, all these points should be on 1 slide so that we can follow the logic and sequence of it. Then, how to answer this question that you're posting there. And that you have to use with cutting-edge technology. In science, I'm not sure the humanity and social and the other part which I'm not familiar with. But science, you must use the cutting edge technology. If you don't, then your answer will not be definitive and you will not be favorably. And you must present key pilot data to back up what you think might work. Very often questions that, beautiful idea, how do you know it's going to work? And you can present some data saying that, well, look, we have something here, all right? But you don't want to flood the slides with lots of data. Just key data points. Is there a pointer somewhere here? Right. Very often we talk about track records. I better come here, otherwise can't see it. Now, very often people overblown themselves, and that doesn't create a very good impression. And the people sitting at the panel, they know when you are blowing your trumpet too much. I would suggest you list out the key publication. For example, you can say, well, we published in 2 in Nature, 1 in Science, and so on. And no name or title being given, because people will not remember it. Li, Wang, Zhang, and so on doesn't mean anything. You know, they're all similar. Just how many papers published, in what journal, and what years. That would be sufficient. Now, you must have the facilities. You have to present to the panel that you have the facility to carry out an experiment that you want to. There's no point saying, hey, we want to do A, B, C, but you haven't got that thing there. And people know whether you have or not, because you have from your track record. And collaboration. I'm sure many speakers have spoken about the collaboration. It has to be a genuine collaboration and not Scotch tape. And you preferably list the joint publications on your slides with names and journal, year, no title necessary, and all put in one slide. Okay. And that should be enough. The important thing is to put the message across, not filling them with too much detail, which we would not remember. So, organization, you have a PI, co-PI, a list of names and expertise chart. The photograph, for me, is distraction. Yeah. It's not necessary. Just name and affiliation is important, right? Expertise and so on. Now, and also to demonstrate your genuine collaboration, you have a panel of people sitting there answering. Let other members answer the question in their expertise. Show that they are a genuine one, not just PC himself or herself, present everything, answer every question. Give the chance to others, showing that really they are actually participating and not just for decoration. Right, International Advisory Board. This is essential with the big grants, even for CRF. And you must clearly state that who are they, where they're from, what are the expertise, and if possible, in fact necessary, to get a letter of agreement or collaboration from them. Otherwise, you can list off endless people and so on, but evident they really are happy to become your advisory board. Now, you have to also increase the training elements. That is that you are going to have so many graduate students, so many postdocs, and what are you going to do with them? And also, if necessary, you can say, in your past record, how many people you have trained already successfully. Right. Budget. I think it's a big project. It's useful to have one slide, single slide, to show your budget. Not in detail, in headlines, and say, what are we going to do, what is that, and so on, and why we are justified. Just give the panel have some idea, how much you're asking for and why you're asking for. Right. Finally, you have to get some perspective. Application or fundamental. Just one single slide. This is your concluding remark. That is, if this is successful, what would lead to? Benefit Hong Kong, benefit mankind, or theoretical advances, and so on. You have to say so. So people show, wow, this is good. Okay? Rather than purely
irrelevant academic research. Right. So let me just emphasize, you have to present your key message clearly. And to inform, not to read to impress. You have to impress people, of course, but don't over-impress people, the panel. Important thing is information. The panel will form the opinion from this information, whether you're good or not. And that's, I think, is all I have. Thank you very much indeed.